from Laco Properties. Now, following on from our previous video where we looked at a few common types of landlords, today we're going to take a look at some of the responsibilities of a landlord. So in short, a landlord's responsibility is to provide safe, clean and habitable housing for any occupier that they allow to reside in their property. Now, while the tenant may have responsibilities to look after and treat the property as they would their own home, the landlord ultimately has responsibility for ensuring that the property doesn't fall into disrepair and it remains compliant with the many regulations set out by government. So let's look at this in a chronological order, and we'll start with what you need to do before letting your property. Okay, so first up is the mortgage. Now, usually buy-to-let mortgages are used to fund the purchase of properties that are intended to be let. However, as we've previously mentioned in other videos, there is an accidental landlord who never really intended on renting their property out. So in this instance, where there's a mortgage in place, you must seek consent from your mortgage lender. This is something you should start early, as it can take around 6 weeks to be granted in writing. Understanding your tax obligations. Letting a property may increase your income and may affect your tax status. So it's advisable to take advice from an accredited tax advisor prior to commencing a tenancy. This will help you understand your tax obligations and how any benefits you may receive could be affected. If it's your intention to relocate abroad, you will need to apply for a non-resident landlord approval number, which will stop tax being deducted at basic rate and allow you to pay tax upon completion of an annual return. Finding an agent. Now, it's quite likely that you'll start to speak to an agent about letting your property before you've even thought about what we've just mentioned. But the point of this video is to hopefully help give you a head start on your journey. A good agent will give you honest advice on what you need to do, including the points we've already mentioned. The agent will want to visit you at the property and in person, and this gives them the opportunity to assess the property and give advice and guidance on anything that may need to be done from a safety and legal perspective as well as cosmetic. The agent will then be able to give you an idea on what the rental price you may achieve. It's important that you have a full understanding of the services on offer and that you read in full the terms and conditions of the agent before agreeing to anything. We'll dive into that in another post. EPC and MEES. Let's assume you've chosen your agent and you want to get your property on the market to rent as soon as possible. In order to comply with the Minimum Energy Efficiency Standards of 2018 and the Consumer Rights Act of 2015, you will need to have in place an Energy Performance Certificate with a minimum rating of E. From a consumer rights standpoint, this document must be in place and visible to potential tenants during marketing, as it forms a part of their decision-making process, allowing them to see how much it may cost for them to heat the property. From a minimum energy efficiency perspective, the minimum energy efficiency rating of E ensures that properties do not come onto the market in an uneconomical state and do not have a negative impact on the environment. Gas safe certificate. You must provide a valid gas safety certificate to the tenants prior to the commencement of a tenancy and within 28 days of each subsequent annual gas safety check if the property has gas. Electrical safety. From the 1st of July 2020, any new tenancy must have a valid Electrical Installation Condition Report, or EICR. This document can be valid for up to 5 years depending on the condition of the electrics. For existing tenancies, these must be carried out by the 1st of April 2021, and this will help drive up the standards of electrical installations in rental properties by ensuring that any faults are found and dealt with at the earliest opportunity. It's also recommended that you carry out a portable appliance test on any appliances you may provide, such as a washing machine or fridge freezer. These tests and subsequent works should only be carried out by an accredited electrician. Smoke and carbon monoxide. Working smoke alarms must be installed on every floor of living accommodation. They must be tested and working on the first day of a new tenancy, and the tenant notified that they are in working order. Where there is a solid fuel burning appliance, such as a wood burning stove or an open fireplace, then you must install carbon monoxide alarms in those rooms. Again, these must be tested and working on the first day of a new tenancy. If you already have these in situ, then you should inspect them, as each alarm has an expiry date on, at which point they will need to be changed. You can find this on the base of the alarm itself. Water safety. You must ensure that the water supply is in working order and carry out a Legionella risk assessment. This must be provided to the tenant in order for them to suitably manage any risks. In the meantime, if you have any questions, please feel free to get in touch and we'll be more than happy to help. Thanks guys.